All right, I'm going to share my screen, you guys, and I'm going to mute everyone. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself. All right, cool. So here is our, I can't really hear you guys, obviously, but if you guys can see my screen, just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. Is that Amy? Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so what you needed to do, and I'm going to open it up one more time because 8 people missed it last time. We're gonna go over it. I don't know. Some people had trouble opening this. Like I know Lisa, she sent me a message. She had trouble opening it. But if you click down here, you'll see there are different files. So the last one we did last week was rhetorical analysis number 1, and it says it's a quiz, but it's kind of the only way I could set up a timed essay. And what you needed to do, and if you see your name right there, that means you didn't do it. And message me, I can open it up back up for you guys. And all you had to do is rhetorical analysis. So here I give you the prompt. This is an actual prompt from the AP exam, right? And so far I checked, everyone's signed up for it, and we're gonna take it in May, and it's gonna be a test you take at home. So you look at the prompt and you create a 4 to 5 paragraph essay. You want to aim for 5. And if you look at the rubric, I included it, but what I recommended for people to do is before you even start it, look at the prompt. So I included the prompt was RA number 1, you read the prompt, and then you annotate it. And the way you should annotate it is you can use our Space Cats paper. You see it right here. And that'll help you kind of figure out the Space Cats, so like the speaker, the purpose, the audience, the context, the exigence, the choices, the appeals, and the tone. If you're able to do that, and I recommend doing that all before you start the quiz, right, the rhetorical analysis. And then look at stuff like this, where I give you the outline. So the outline is something we did in class a few times before. And the outline right here is just the first paragraph. So what you can do for the first paragraph. And you can actually fill this out if you fill out the Space Cat ahead of time. So what I would have recommended is for you to write out the whole essay, or at least plan out the whole essay. And then once you're ready, once you feel like you're good, you would open this up and then take the quiz, which is just a rhetorical analysis, and type it all up. If you haven't done it, I'll open it up one more time, but you're behind because today I'm opening up number 2, which is, this is from the 2015 test, I believe. I think, I don't remember exactly. It's the same exact thing you have to do. And if you check back into this folder, there are the same examples. If you click on this one where it says RA Quick Guide of Examples, this is not me. I didn't make this one. This is a different AP teacher, well regarded and well renowned. They kind of show you what you can do for the body paragraph. So topic sentence, textual evidence, commentary, final sentence. So it's not too far. Like the basic of any paragraph, you could do like 5 to 6 sentences, and they give you the actual examples, and they give you an actual example here. So if you follow that, you can easily do well on it. So it's a timed prompt, but you could do all the pre-work ahead of time. When you do a real AP test, you're not gonna have this stuff. Actually, if you print it out, you can have it in the corner, but you're not gonna know the prompt ahead of time. So what you want to do is do this second one by Tuesday, and then if you go to our drive, and if you're not sure how to get to our drive, you open up course documents, you click on AP Language Composition Google Drive. Once you click on this, it'll take you to this page, right? So it's something you've seen in the past. We did assignments on here, we did sign-up sheets. It'll take you to here, and what you need to click on is Rhetorical Analysis Video Conference with Talk. Click on that, and you see a sign-up sheet. So I like some people already did it, awesome. this is for next Wednesday. And I just thought it would be easier and better for me to give you one-on-one guidance rather than speak generically to the class, and it might not help you. So that's why the first one was due, but if you need to do it, so I'll open it up again. The second was due by Tuesday night, and that means by Wednesday, I read your papers and I could give you like a one-on-one, like this is what you need to improve on before we do another one. Because we're gonna do 4 of them before we take the AP test. Might do more to get more extra practice. But you're signing up for a time period, and you notice there's 2 student names. That means because since you guys are writing the same essays, I can actually handle 2 students at once. So for example, if Alicia and Ashley signed up for 1:30, then I can easily talk to both of you guys at the same time. Be like, you need to fix this, you need to fix this, and it'll be fine. So keep that in mind. Please sign up soon. And it's 2 student names because it's okay to share at the same time. So I include that link in the class updates. If you look at updates, I included a link and you can click to it. Or if you go through our course documents. So far, what you need to do is sign up for a date for you to meet. So by then, obviously you should have both of the timed essays due. So even if you miss the small assignments, these timed essays, they're worth a lot more than anything else. I finished grading all the Between the World and Me, like discussion posts and the quizzes and stuff. We just needed to input the final essay, which it shouldn't be easy, because it shouldn't be hard, because we already looked at all your rough drafts. So what I'm looking for is that you made changes from your rough draft to your final draft. So if we had a conversation and we had a conference, well, I had a conference with probably like 18 of you guys, there should have been some changes that happened between your drafts. But besides that, the buyer left. Rhetorical analysis number 2, there should be 2 of them done, and you sign up for that. So keep in mind, on Tuesday, we'll discuss that more, and Wednesday, we'll have personal one-on-one conference. Okay, so at the same time we're learning this AP stuff, we do need to continue on with the English content. Today, I'm going to show you the characters to The Crucible, right? So The Crucible is the play we're going to read. And I love doing this in class, but doing it through online kind of sucks, because normally we like to act it out and we do group projects and it's awesome, but that's not the situation we're in right now. So we're gonna have to do it, individually, and we'll kind of do check-ins with it. So today you'll see an assignment that says in-class discussion number 2. After I get done with the presentation, you have today and tomorrow to go into here and just answer this question, which is after looking at the slides provided. So after what I present to you guys, select 2 characters that you are interested or curious about and explain why you're curious and what you know about the characters. And please write at least 1 paragraph, right? So today I'm gonna go through a presentation. Let's see. Okay, so that's why I asked you guys to have like a piece of paper. So next week, you're going to be expected to look at Act 1, and I'll explain that more towards the end. But we're going to look at Act 1, and we're going to have a quiz next week, a real quiz, not like the timed essay quiz. We're going to have a quiz on the characters, and we're going to read a short story called Sinners in the Hands of Angry God, right? So those ones we're going to look at more next week, but the key thing is to know who the characters are. And I'm going to post up this recording later, and so you have it as reference. But for you guys, I asked you guys maybe have some sheet of paper so you could kind of keep track of the characters. Okay, so I'm going to start this. All right, what we're looking at is The Crucible. The Crucible. It is a play written in the 1950s about the Salem witch trials. And if you did the discussion post, and it's still open, the Salem witch trials and discussion post number 2, Joseph McCarthy, We'll learn about the 1950s and communism, and at the same time, we're looking to learn about the Salem witch trials. You might be thinking, how can those be related? Well, it is the author based what happens in Salem witch trials to relate to the witch hunts of the 1950s. Today, we're going to look at the Crucible characters. You're going to learn about key characters. At the end of the lesson, you're going to go back and just comment about 2 characters that you thought were interesting and what you knew about them. Once again, I'm not going to, I can't check your notes if you guys take notes or not, but there's going to be a quiz next week, and you're allowed to obviously have open notes because I'm not there. So use whatever you have on the quiz next week. The quiz next week, we're going to test you on the Salem witch trials, which was discussion number, I forgot the exact number of it, but it is a discussion about the Salem witch trials. I'm going to test you on the Crucible characters, and on Tuesday, we're going to read a short story called Sinners in the Hands of Angry God. So all throughout, you should be keeping track of what happens. All right, so first and foremost, the main character is John Proctor. This is the main character. If you have, it used to be on Netflix. It's on YouTube, but it's like a pirated version of it. You can watch the play, and the play does a 90% good job of showing what happens. There's about 10% where they change, and actually some crucial things they change. So I wouldn't base your whole knowledge on that. But the main character is played by Daniel Day-Lewis, famous actor, 2 times Oscar Award winner. John Proctor is the protagonist. He's the main character. What we know about him is he's a local farmer, but he has a high status in the town because he's well respected and he has a good deal of wealth. He lives outside of town, so the town that we're focused on is Salem in 1692. He has a wife, Elizabeth Proctor. He's around 40 years old. And interesting thing about that, before the play even starts, we find out he had an affair with a teenager. He is like 44, and he has an affair with like the 17-year-old girl. What? So we already start off with some drama in this play. This all happened before the play starts. So like Kyria just started like laughing about that. But yeah, he has an affair with a 17-year-old girl. He is married. He's a married man. His wife was sick at the time, but he has an affair with Abigail, who was his, I guess, maid. During that time period, young girls are to get jobs, they work in houses. So she was supposed to be the maid of the house, taking care of things as his wife was sick, very sick, and he has an affair with her. So this is a key thing because he can easily expose Abigail and show that she's lying throughout the play because she's going to be our antagonist. Antagonist means the person that we're going against, right? So John is a protagonist. He's the main character of the story. He won't expose Abigail because he feels that if he does that, people will find out about the affair. So in this time period, one of the major themes is your reputation. Because if you lose your name, you lose your reputation, that's all you have. That's the only way people can trust you. So he's afraid of exposing Abigail because he feels like if he does, he's going to lose his name. So all this affair and everything, this happens before the play starts. All right, the antagonist of the story, Abigail Williams. She is a 17-year-old girl. She is the niece of Reverend Parris, who's also going to be a force of bad or of evil in the story. She was once a servant of Proctor, as we said, but she gets fired because the wife of John Proctor finds out about the affair. Abigail is smart and she's dangerous. And that is a understatement. She's very manipulative, she's witty, she's cunning, and her goal in life is to be with John Proctor. Even like she is love struck. She she wants to get rid of the wife out of the picture and be with him. So in the story, that's actually going to be a major conflict. Very interesting character. One of the more interesting characters you read in literature, just because she's so crazy. All right, so this is the third person in that love triangle we're talking about, Elizabeth Proctor. She is the wife of John Proctor, the main character. She doesn't get to say much, but she serves as kind of the voice of reason in the story. She's a good person, but she's still hurt about the affair, and obviously she should be hurt because her husband cheated on her. So she fires Abigail, and all this affair happens before the play starts. So those three people, easy to remember. John Proctor is the main character. He's a farmer. He had an affair with Abigail. Abigail's the one he had an affair with. Elizabeth is the wife. She was sick during the time they had an affair. All right. So 3 characters so far. It's a play, so there's a good amount of characters. For the side characters, I'll skip through them. Reverend John Hale. In Act 1, he is brought into the town of Salem because he is an expert in witchcraft. He's an expert. His job, he's a witch hunter, right? So when he comes to Salem to examine Betty, if you did discussion about the witch trials, you'll find out that Betty Paris and Ruth Putnam are real people. They actually did get sick, but the cause of their sickness, no one knows. So this story that we're reading is not based on facts. It's based on a true story, but the author changes things to make it more interesting. For example, the affair never actually happens, but in this play, because we need drama, it happens. So Reverend John Hale, he is a young minister who is an expert on witchcraft. Reverend Hale is called to Salem to examine Paris's daughter Betty. Hale is a committed Christian and hater witchcraft. He's a good character, meaning he wants the best for the town, but his presence in the town causes hysteria, and hysteria is when people overreact, when people allow fear to take over their minds, and it clouds their judgment. All right, so we talked about Reverend Hale. Reverend Hale is a witch hunter. Reverend Paris, he is the minister of the Salem Church. He's the minister. He's going to be on the opposite side of John Proctor the whole story. So, number one, he is Abigail's uncle. Reverend Paris is paranoid. He feels like a lot of people are after him, and he is power hungry. Many people don't like him in the town. So Reverend Paris is paranoid and power hungry. Okay, so we had Reverend Paris. Keep in mind, his daughter is the one that gets sick, Betty Paris, and his niece is Abigail. Rebecca Nurse. And a lot of people confuse her. She's not actually a nurse. Her name is just Nurse. Her name is Rebecca Nurse. She's a real character, a real person in real life. Rebecca Nurse, her husband's Francis Nurse, obviously, because that's her name. Rebecca is wise and very well known. She is a voice of reason. In the story and in real life, she's accused of witchcraft and she won't confess. So she is a voice of reason. So every time she speaks, she does good. Okay. So let's move on. We don't need to know him. He's not that important. This is important. Judge Danforth. Starting in Act 2. All right, so in Act 1, we'll learn more about that next week. Act 1, it's about figuring out what happened, but there's hysteria, and obviously there's a witch trial because that's the real life event it's based on. So when we get to Judge Danforth in Act 2, he is called in by the state of Massachusetts to preside over the trials. So he's a judge in charge. He sentences many people to death and to be hung because he believes that there's witchcraft in the town. And it's all based on the fact that these girls say they are being attacked by the witchcraft and the devil. So Danforth is convinced he's doing good, and he thinks he's doing good. He's thinks he's doing good. Oops. Oh, I didn't realize it. Juliana's in waiting. Should we leave Juliana here? Okay. Hey Juliana. So if you missed anything, I recorded the session, so you get to see it after. Okay, so
Okay. Wait, Mister, is this gonna be on Schoology?
the video is gonna be on Schoology. The link I can link it to.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Judge Danforth. We talked about him. Giles Corey. You don't even know him right now. Thomas Putnam. He is a wealthy man of Salem. Putnam holds a grudge against Francis Nurse for preventing his brother-in-law from being elected to the office. So he actually has a lot of grudges in town. And we know he uses the witch trials to increase his own wealth by accusing people of witchcraft and then buying up their land. Initially, two girls get sick. So Paris's daughter and his daughter, Ruth Harlan. So there's a lot of suspicion to why the Salem witch trials occurred. Some people believe that it was a sickness in town. It could have been food poisoning. It could have been the girls were pretending in the real life events. But people use that as a way to get revenge on people. And Thomas Putnam was one of those people that they accused. They think that he willingly used his daughter's sicknesses to attack people. He uses the trials to increase his own wealth. Okay, so Um, Anne Putnam, she's the wife of Thomas Putnam. She is the Putnams aren't good. They're the part of the antagonist side. So she had 8 children in her life, but during that time period, it was hard for them to keep kids alive. It's the 1600s. There's a lot of diseases. There's a lot of things that could be that go wrong with childbirthing. So she had 8 children, but only one survived. Ruth. Ruth is one of the children that gets sick because of the witchcraft. After the other 7 have died before they were a day old. Anne thinks they were murdered by supernatural means, so she believes that there are witchcraft in the town. Let's see. Might have to skip some. Let's go to some more important characters, and then I think we'll move on to what we need. Okay, so Anne Putnam is the wife of Thomas Putnam. She had 8 kids, 1 survived. That's a key thing because that kind of leads her motivation. She wants to get revenge on people. And the other 7 died before they're a day old. She wants to use supernatural causes. What do we do with this? Yes. This is our first victim in real life and in the story, Tituba. So, as spoken many times, Ruth Putnam and Betty Paris are the first girls to get sick. When in this time period, we're looking for people to blame. At the end of Act 1, when we get to that, we'll find out eventually they all blame Tituba. Tituba is from Barbados. It's an island. It's an island in the Caribbean. Tituba agrees to perform voodoo at Abigail's request. So at the beginning of the play, before it starts, we find out 2 main facts. One, that there was an affair between Abigail and John Proctor. We know that it happened before the play starts. And the day before the play starts, the girls of the town, led by Abigail and Tituba, were dancing in the forest. And dancing in this time period is against the rules. You're not supposed to do anything that, I don't know what to call it, but you're not supposed to do that. It's against, this is a very religious Puritan town, so you're not allowed to go dance and do things. If you read, the only book you're reading is the Bible. So they go to the town, and the girls are doing like silly things. They're trying to do like voodoo. It's not actual witchcraft. Abigail, we find out in Act 1, asks Tituba, "Hey, can you make a charm to kill Elizabeth Proctor?" Which is Elizabeth Proctor is the wife of John Proctor. She's like, "No, Abby, I can't do that." The town finds out that they were dancing, and they blame Tituba for the girls being sick. They think that she is working with the devil. Okay, so let me see what else left. Okay, all right, last character. She is very important in Act 3, Act 4. Mary Warren. She is pretty much the same age as Abigail. She is the current servant in the Proctor house. She works for John Proctor. She is scared and easily influenced by those around her. So Mary Warren's the last one. Let me upload this link so you guys can see it after. Okay, so if you missed any of that, I'm gonna post the link up right now, and you'll find it. Did you see the assignment? It says in class discussion number 2. It's number 2 because number 1, it's kind of weird. We skipped it for now. I'll post the link to that here. Oops. Okay. So what you needed to do is just generally learn about the characters, and after looking at their presentation, the slides, and you can go back, choose 2 characters you learned about and explain what you're curious about them. So you can go post on this. It's an in-class discussion assignment. If you came a little later, I kind of explained that there's 2 assignments that you needed to get done. The first one was rhetorical analysis number 2. If you didn't do number 1, there's a few of you out there. You know what? I'll open that up right now again. It's because I need that by Wednesday. If you missed that, there's a sign-up sheet on here that you need to find out. Choose a day. So there's some people here, Juliana, Kenya. There's a few of you. You guys haven't done this yet, so please do so. I extend the deadline to, let's say, tomorrow. If you're curious about that, please review the video and you'll see. There are some stuff on here too. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing real fast. All right, you guys have any questions about anything?